What up, dudes? It's Gaz, and welcome back to another Warframe video. So we got another episode of This Week in Warframe with the entire weekly reset, and yes, at long last, we have a giant Warframe news week starting this upcoming Friday. So let's go over some of that stuff and go over the current weekly reset and what you can expect as a Warframe player this week. If you enjoy these types of videos, make sure you're subbed, and we're also recording this live on stream, so come on, step to the live stream channel if you want to see some of the weekly reset stuff completed afterwards. Alright, for your first weekly reset item at Teshin, you got 50,000 Kuva for 55 lessons. It's technically a discount compared to his 10k packs he's got down here. But yeah, the Kuva per week is limited from Teshin, so you should be buying as much of this as you want every week. But yeah, there is going to be the new Warframe dev stream for the new update, the Comey and the 5 Fates. It will be starting next Friday at about 10 p.m. ET, and that is pretty late at night for people in like EU. I think it's like around like 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. EU for some of you guys. So yeah, I'll be live streaming it right when it comes out, but I will be making sure I get a overview video on the YouTube channel that you're watching right now. That's a glitch. I will be getting a overview video on this YouTube channel like an hour after the stream's done. So yeah, we'll be, live making the video, and then we'll be uploading it right like an hour after the stream's done. So by the time you wake up, if you're not waking up at 4 a.m. to watch it, you'll probably have the video on the stream on this channel. So just a heads up on that one. Yeah, new frame, new update, all that kind of stuff. So for the wares over here, the Dorma Zone, we got a melee ribbon mod, a rifle ribbon mod, an Exilus Warframe adapter, a Forma blueprint, and 5k Kuva. So no Verglass ribbons over here this time, but still, melee ribbon and rifle ribbon, pretty decent options.
There'll be other times.
All right, so as far as the EDA, yeah, there's still no news on the boss fight. We do have the confirmation of the devs. They're going to be looking into it, but yeah, maybe a change in the 5 Fates of Comey update. But until then, yeah, the hotfixes are also paused until whatever the update will be. They'll be talking about the update's information on Friday, but the release date remains to be seen. I'm hoping it'll be like a week or two after the dev stream, but there's also no actual information saying that would be the case. Just to put your guys' expectations in check here. Alright, so for the EDA, the boss fight's still not back, and I got Dante again, so that's going to be pretty easy. Oh yeah, guys, also the hate augment will be available tonight, so I just realized this. I have the hate for EDA, the hate augment's now available. I could use the hate augment in the EDA tonight. So yeah, make sure you come stop by the stream. It's probably going to be pretty nasty with Frost or Citrine or Dante, so that looks pretty good. But as far as your mission types here, we've got Mere Defense, Survival, and Exterminate. So as far as your modifiers on these, for Mere Defense, you've got Glyph Inflation. The security system requires twice as many glyphs to activate. So that's going to mean 100 glyphs to activate the defenses. That's a lot. Like, that's seriously like more than you could even pick up in an entire room sometimes. So be really aware of that you cannot really rely on the defenses of this set. Second modifier, Alluring Archonids. As the rogue Archonid dog robot attack, they will pull enemies, or they will pull Warframes towards them. So they have that lightning attack, it will pull you in and then shock you. So be really careful about that if you are playing a not very tanky character, because that can do a decent amount of damage to you if your shields are broken. Then the final one for the Archimedian, Hostile Regeneration. Enemies' health slowly regenerates. This should be a pretty easy Mere Defense, guys. There's not really anything super evil on this one. I guess the enemies regenerating slowly their health would be a little bit annoying for like the mech if you're activating that, but you technically don't even need to activate the mech if you want to have a really, really straightforward time. Just make sure the ad clear is on point. For survival, let's see what we got here. We got life support towers, only activate after 20 enemies have been killed within a 15-meter radius of them, parasitic towers. So you're going to need to camp near the life support towers. They're not going to actually work. So that can be pretty annoying. Just keep that in mind, that if you are just like running around without camping as teammates, you're not going to be able to rely on those life support towers, unfortunately. Next one, Post-Mortal Surges. Slight enemies explode with void energy. Those explosions do a lot of damage, so be really careful about that. And you are going to be camping near these towers, too. So be careful that you don't get too many void explosions on you while you're camping near the tower, because you will be nearby these enemies. So a pretty evil combo right there. And the third one for Elite Archimedian, Fortified Foes. Guardian Eximus units may be encountered, including Guardian Eximus mechs. So exploding enemies must activate towers with enemy kills and also Guardian Eximus. The first two are pretty bad. The Elite Archimedian modifier is not that big of a deal, but yeah, be careful about an Eximus Grozling, potentially. And for the final mission, Exterminate, pretty much a freebie here at the end. They've got Fissure Cascades as the first modifier. Enemies will level up as the mission progresses because there'll be these fissure things in there that you can break. If you don't break the fissures, the enemies will level up once every 10 seconds. But yeah, you can stop them from leveling up. It's pretty much a free modifier, not too big of a deal here. Bolstered Belligerent, all enemies have Overguard equal to 50% of their maximum health. Makes them more tanky. Basically just means you can't CC them for the most part, but not that big of a deal if you have big weapon buffs, or frames like Dante or Frost, or Citrine for that matter. And then for the final modifier, the Archimedian, you got Vampiric Liminus. You gotta throw those in here once per week at least. They're going to be these evil vampire cloud things that will chase you down and drain your health and energy, and they can hit you pretty hard, so be aware that there might be like a ghost thing following you around that's doing a lot of damage to you. But yeah, with Overguard, you're usually going to be pretty much set with like Dante. And for your individual modifiers, you can choose to turn these on for more rewards. You got Ammo Deficit. Ammo restores from drops and gear, reduced by 75%. So hopefully you got abilities or melees you can use there. Lethargic Shields, your shield regen basically doesn't even exist, so have things like Mag that can restore shields instantly, or things like Harrow's Chains that can restore shields instantly, because shield regen is going to be massively diminished with that modifier. Powerless, not as bad as most people think, but this will make it where you cannot cast abilities until your squad has killed 50 enemies. Spectre kills count for this. If you have an elite on-call crew member, or maybe a Dante Spectre, or like a Knight of Spectre, whatever kind of Spectre you like to run, the kills of that Spectre can let you get this challenge progressed around the corner. So, yeah. If you're feeling like, okay, I can't go in there with Dante until I cast my second ability, then maybe throw out your Dante Spectre, have him get 50 kills, then you can go in and maybe, cast your Overguard like you want to. And for your final modifier, Secondary Wounds, gain 1 puncture status effect every time you take damage. That's to mean that you do less damage outgoing if you have puncture procs on you. And that's going to be your Elite Archimedian modifier. As far as annoying missions, the survival might be a little bit annoying, but I think this will be a pretty free EDA, especially with the Near Defense being on the first mission and there being not that terrible of modifiers on there. Alright, so for your Bird 3 shard over here, this does require rank 5 of the Kavia to get access to this, but he's got an Amber Archon shard for 30,000 reputation. When you do your Archimedian, you will get 15,000 rep, and when you do Netrocells, you'll get 5,000 rep after that. And that means you're going to be getting enough rep to get that shard guaranteed. So pretty much free there. That DE designed that entirely around that, getting that much rep from one day of play. Alright, so for your Incarnons and Archon hunts and all that stuff, the things that also can be really good loot, the Archon hunt is going to be the Wolf Archon on Mars with the red Archon shards. Give you things like power strength and duration and stuff that's really good like that. The mission types are going to be Extermination, Excavation, and the final boss showdown. These red shards are definitely worth doing these missions for because they are extremely powerful. Can be combined into shards like purple shards to give you even more crit damage. For your Deviri stuff, let's see what we have here this week. Alright, so we've got Ivara, Anaros, and Titania here for your normal path Deviri circuit options. So this is the quest frame right here. Anaros is a quest frame, Titania is a quest frame, and Ivara is a frame that comes from Spy Vault missions. So it depends what you think is the most annoying. Now, getting an extra copy of some of these frames can be kind of annoying because you have to go through Submaris to get the second copy. So to alleviate some of that annoyance, if you think any of these Helminth abilities are interesting to you, maybe go for that because these are all relatively annoying to farm a second copy of. But yeah, Titania's Helminth is Spellbind, gives you status immunity, to be a decent stun as well. Anaros, Helminth ability is Desiccation, basically Pocket Sand, enables finishers, does a little bit of true damage as well. And Ivara's Helminth is Quiver, where you can put cloaking arrows out on the ground, and also, that's pretty much it, I think. What's the other thing? You get like a dash wire? No, you wouldn't do dash wire with this. It's just, I think it's a cloaking arrow and a sleep arrow, so not that big of a deal. As far as the most annoying one to get the copies of, it's to be either Anaros or Titania, as you have to go Submaris rep for those guys. But if you hate spy missions, go for Ivara, because it will be 0 spy missions if you get it from this route. But yeah, I'd say out of these options, maybe Titania, because her Helminth is okay. And I don't mind spy missions. But yeah, if you don't like spy missions, just go ahead and get that Ivara option instead. So some pretty good choices this week on that front. For your circuit, we've got a roller coaster of emotions with these Incarnons this week. Some of the best Incarnons, some of the worst Incarnons in the game, and definitely some really disappointing ones, either way you look at it. So, reminder that if you haven't played the game in a while, if you get rank, I think it's like rank 8 or 9, the Opportunity Intrinsics, you can pick Kuva or Riven instead of Incarnons if you prefer that. But yeah, just going over what we have here, we got the Akin Brunt Incarnon, the Soma Incarnon, the Vasto Incarnon, the Nami Solo Incarnon, and the Burst Incarnon. Just go ahead and say it right now. These three on the right over here are going to be probably your best options. The Soma Incarnon and the Active Brunt Incarnon are not heavily used at all, but I'm going to still review them for you so you can see exactly what's going on here. For the Active Brunt Incarnon, the Incarnon form is going to be activated once you get a 6x combo multiplier, and what will it activate, or what will it give you once you do that? You can send out spectral axes during aerial attacks or slide attacks that are like mini Exotic Contagions. A lot less damage, but if you ever were someone that liked the Active Brunt before the Incarnon, it's a big stat upgrade on this weapon as far as these Incarnon perks. So you get things like heavy attack efficiency, increased combo chance while blocking, and combo timer pause while the weapon's holstered, kind of okay. And also some big crit chance increases here, and some status increases. It's definitely one of the lower tier Incarnons in the game, but if you like a sword and axe kind of visually, it's a lot higher stats. You can actually use it after the Incarnon unlocker is installed. But yeah, a low tier option for sure versus some of these other good ones. The Soma Incarnon is sadly, we just did a poll in my chat earlier, this is sadly one of the most disappointing Incarnons in the game. This was voted the worst Incarnon this week, even versus the Active Brunt, like a sword and shield basically. This thing becomes weaker once you activate the Incarnon form, unfortunately. Now, you still get the stat upgrades on the non-Incarnon form, but yeah, once you activate the Incarnon form of the Soma, it goes from a pretty crit-focused weapon that has really low base damage but high crit to a weapon that has reduced crit, but it gets increased status chance and multi-shot, but they also lower the fire rate. So you actually nerf yourself activating this. So I would recommend, external crit buffs you want to use this thing. It does not get any crit chance increases on here, but yeah, you get a crit damage increase at least. But yeah, the main perks on here are going to be ones that give you increased damage because this thing has really low base damage. Some of the lowest base damage in the whole game. And Fortress Salvo and Fortified Bloodshed are not really going to be helping too much because it's only like 10 damage they're getting on there, 12 damage they're getting on there. Other weapons in this game have so much higher base damage. This thing, even if it is crit focused, it's not multiplying its damage by that much because the number you're multiplying is so low. But yeah, a slash Flauto like rifle, I guess, that has multi-shot built in. If you want to use that, I would put this as the lowest recommendation this week. No questions asked. For the Vasto Incarnon, I actually used this yesterday, and it's pretty nice for demolishers and for disruption for that matter. It's not as good for Void Cascade because this thing is very, very single target. The Incarnon form on the Vasto pistol becomes basically Fan the Hammer. You fire out a bunch of bullets really quick, and they're really strong bullets, but you only get 4 of those bursts. Thankfully, one of those bursts can kill a high-level Demolist, no problem. So, what I'd recommend to you, if you want to use this Vasto Incarnon, use it in Disruption, and bring the Magus Lockdown Arcane to stun the Demolist. Once you stun the Demolist, this thing's, easy. It'll be easy headshots, and you'll destroy that thing really fast. So, really nice. But as far as the best perks on this, got a perk called Death Trap Trigger. Once you swap from your primary to your secondary, the amount of crit chance and crit damage increases you get will make this thing be hitting orange and red crits pretty easily. Additionally, you can get things that will give you some extra, or some reduced recoil, some increased magazine size, or just overall crit buffs. So a very powerful Incarnon, but definitely probably third place on the list this week. But still, if it's the only pistol this week too. So if you have melees and primaries you like already, this is the only pistol this week. So there you go. You already probably picked it if you want a pistol. All right. So these last two here, the Nami Solo Incarnon. It's not exactly the most exciting weapon in the game, but it is very powerful. So what this thing's going to do once you get the Incarnon meter filled up from that 6x multiplier, you're going to be getting extra range, actually. 3 meters of extra range, which lets you hit enemies really far away. So if you get a range Riven and this range increase on there, it's like another 6 or 7 meters of range on this weapon. So if you have melee influence on there, melee influence spreads the procs in an 18 meter radius. So you can hit 13 meters away, and then that's proccing melee influence. So 18 meters away from that 13 meter hit is going to be a huge AoE of death. So in that way, it's very good. But don't be expecting exciting Incarnon attacks. If you want exciting Incarnon attacks, the Active Brunt is probably more exciting as far as the special abilities it gets. This thing just gets more range and damage and all that. But for some players, that's enough to make it an actual Incarnon they use all the time. So yeah, if you want to get this thing, use it with melee influence. You could also use it with a heavy attack as well if you want to. But yeah, I'd recommend it just for a melee influence setup, and it can be very good with that. Blast Electric, Pure Electric. If you're playing Saren, Corrosive Electric, all that kind of weird stuff. Pretty good stuff at the end of the day, though. Nami Solo Incarnon, the best melee of this week. And for the overall number one this week, to me, and probably to most players out there, the only main melee, the Bursted Incarnon. This thing's Incarnon form becomes a full auto, like, heat damage machine gun, basically. And this thing has crazy high stats, allowing you to get, like, red crits and tons of status chance while melting maximum level enemies instantly. Not to mention, this thing gets so much Incarnon ammo. I think it's like, what, 400 shots or something like that. 300, 400 shots of Incarnon ammo. You can basically main the Incarnon form of this gun, unlike some guns like the Vasta, where it's like, okay, you get a couple headshots, you get your 4 Incarnon bursts, and then you have to go back and forth between Incarnon form. This thing, someone in chat said 600 bullets. 600 bullets on this thing, potentially. You can main the Incarnon form, because building that Incarnon 600 shots is so easy, too. So it scales with multi-shot, like all the other stuff. Very good weapon here. I'd highly recommend this as your #1 choice. And for your #2 choice, too many people love the Nami Solo Incarnon for me to not say Nami Solo. But if you just don't really want a melee influence weapon, I guess you could go for the Vasto instead, as that is one of the best Demolist killing weapons in the secondary slot. But yeah, the Dual Toxis can also get the job done. So #1, #2 recommendations this week, Nami Solo and Burston. And hopefully you guys enjoyed those Incarnons. Alright, so that's going to be your Incarnons this week. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Nightwave, because, yeah, the Nightwave is going to be giving you that new augment this week if you've been grinding out lots of challenges. The augment's called Burning Hate, and I'll have a video out on the YouTube channel tomorrow. Alright, so as far as your challenges, though, you've got Animator as your first challenge. Look for Maru's treasure. Look for Ayatan treasures for Maru in Maru's Bazaar. So that's going to be your weekly Ayatan sculpture hunt for Maru. You can technically run it infinite times. You only get the Ayatan once, so... yeah, you can get this challenge done pretty easily, just like one mission, basically, with a free Ayatan. Eternal Guardians, the second one, complete 2 Void Armageddon missions. Unfortunately, I don't want to be doing that, so hopefully I can do some other challenges and have to not run Void Armageddon. But I feel like I'll be running Void Armageddon tonight because of that. But it's on the Zeramon, and it's not a very fun mission. Wouldn't recommend farming it, but yeah, just do like one wave and extract, one wave and extract. It doesn't take that long, I suppose, because, yeah, I don't really want to be farming that. Your first Elite Weekly, we got Elite Beast Slayer. Defeat the Aura Worm on the Steel Path. Alright, so that's going to be like a guaranteed, like, 18, 20-minute mission at least there. Maybe bring a team. Hopefully you guys got some good stuff for Deviri, because it is the Steel Path Aura Worm. It has additional mechanics compared to the normal Aura Worm. There's, like, some rings on the side of the thing. They get to, like, rotate and all that. I haven't done it for a while, actually, so this should be kind of fun. I haven't done Deviri for a while. It sounds kind of fun. But yeah, first Elite Weekly, defeat the Steel Path Aura Worm. You can maybe do some of those some of those arcane portals after you beat this too, guys. You want to get some guaranteed Deviri arcanes and some steel essence. Next one. Okay, they really want you to spend some time on this last challenge here. Survive for over 20 minutes in Kuva Survival. So you got a 20-minute mission here and another 20-minute mission right here for these Nightwave challenges. That's going to be only Tavioni on the Kuva Fortress. And that's going to be giving you, Kuva from the life support towers. But yeah, to get this challenge done, you must do Tavioni on the Kuva Fortress for at least 20 minutes. And your normal weeklies are down here, permanent weeklies. Kill 30 Aximus, complete 15 missions, and kill 500 generic enemies. For your cred offerings, let's see what we got here. So we got our evergreen stuff at the top, as always. Nightane, Orican Reactors, Orican Catalysts. And we got helmets here. And these helmets look interesting to you. Go ahead and pick them up. Ooh, the Jade helmet is here. That's pretty cool. I believe this might be the first time the Jade helmet's been here, from my knowledge. So that's really cool. The Jade Auralot helmet. It requires Argon crystals to build. But this is the Jade helmet I am always using. I don't even remember what Jade's normal helmet looks like, actually. But yeah, really cool helmet there. So yeah, that's great. Dagoth's helmet is also here as well. And Kullervo's helmet. So some really good, really good helmet options this week. And we got a ton of aura mods, it looks like. And we have the returning combat reload mod for the Tigress. Okay, so this has not been around for a while. It's a mod for the Tigress. It's only available in Nightwave. On direct hit with 5 pellets. If 5 pellets are headshots, increases your reload speed by 120 for 3 seconds. You can just run the normal reload speed mod. This is not a necessary mod at all. And also, who is running the Tigress in 2024? So, not necessary at all. I would not recommend it. But if you want to get it, there it is for you. The rest of these mods, Napalm Grenades is great for the Penta. If you want to use the Penta, it makes it a pure heat weapon with increased status chance. But as far as the rest of the stuff here, Rejuvenation is great for new players. Corrosive Protection is still good. It's not like the most meta, but it's still really good. Removes enemy armor, 18% per player running this. Can make your weapons and stuff do more damage just at base, because enemies will have less armor against Vernier. Rifle Amp, Sprint Boost, and Physique. I'd say as far as all these mods right here, the ones you want are going to be Corrosive Protection and maybe Sprint Boost. And then if you want to run the Penta, Napalm Grades is great. But yeah, nothing that is that necessary. And for your Conclave augment mods down here, you've got Prism Guard for Mirage, Power 3 for Ivara, and Rumble for Atlas. I really like Prism Guard for Mirage. It's quite nice to try out. You also got some PvP, or not PvP, some MR fodder down here, Jaw Sword, Plasma Sword, and Heat Dagger. And that's going to be basically your weekly reset, guys. You got the big Warframe dev stream on Friday. We'll have dev stream bingo on the stream on the channel as well, predicting some of that stuff. But yeah, you can expect the new hate augment video tomorrow on my channel. It looks like we have Ember Invigoration, so that can make... Because, spoiler, the augment might not be very good, so we might need some extra help from external sources, and Ember might be one of those sources. So, hope you guys enjoy these videos a lot. I enjoy making them a ton. So let's see what we got here. Alright, for Gara, we got increased ability duration and increased energy rate. So built-in energy rate and 100% increased ability duration. Pretty good for Gara. I mean, I'm usually casting abilities pretty often with her to re-proc stuff. But for like Wrathful Advance, that'd be some extra duration. Built-in energy rate's great with Nourish if I was running Nourish. So a pretty nice one, but not super min-maxed. For Valkyr, we got a really disgusting one. Okay, that's a really good one for Valkyr. 200% increased ability strength and 200% increased energy max. So that's going to probably make it where purple shards work on Valkyr quite well. So maybe I'll have to do a Valkyr level 10,000 video pretty soon, although it would be using a very powerful invigoration, which would be kind of unfair. And for the final one, we got increased range for Ember and immunity to status effects. Those are pretty nice effects for Ember, as I am using an Overguard build with her, where the longer range my Fire Blast goes, the more enemies I can hit with that Fire Blast augment, giving me more and more Overguard. So, seems pretty good to me, so I might have to try that one out. The immunity to status effects not as good, because I'll have Overguard anyway, but yeah, either way, guys, hope you found this video fun and helpful. I will see you with more videos every day this week, and hope you guys have been having a great time playing the new update. Alright, take it easy. Peace!